Hey guys, so the next one we're going to look at is the Americana from mount, okay? So we'll talk a little bit about mount, a few control aspects and maintaining it, and just a few things to be aware of, and how I started doing the mount Americana. Alright guys, so we're going to look at the Americana from mount, okay? So whenever we transition to mount, most of the time we're not lucky enough to get straight to high mount, okay? So we'll start in the low mount where Mitch is doing some sort of defence with his arms, either the prayer, crossing over, grabbing onto his lapels, whatever the case may be, okay? Either way, he's blocking us from getting things, and he's going to want to do a bridge and roll is his most powerful escape from here, okay? As Mitch does a bridge and roll to either side, or the other side, you can see that if he goes to this side, this shoulder must come up off the floor, and vice versa. If he wants to bridge and roll over to this side, this shoulder must come up off the floor, okay? So whenever I attack anything, I've got to be coming in low with my body weight and over the shoulder that is going to cause me the problem, okay? If I give him this hand, for whatever reason, a choke, Americana, I know that I've given this post, so he's going to want to bridge me that way, so I stay heavy over the shoulder, okay? So what we'll do, if he has the prayer defence for this, it doesn't matter which, I can take my pick of whatever arm I want to attack. However, if Mitch crosses his arms over, I have to attack the top arm, okay? So before we get into it, we're most commonly taught to grab on the wrist and at the end of the elbow and push as hard as we can, try and get it to the floor, and then start the work for the Americana. There's a couple of issues with this. One, for me to push, I need to lift up, I get even taller. I've committed both of my arms to his arm, so I've got no available posts if I need to stop myself from getting bridged and rolled. And most importantly, from here, when I stay up tall and I'm pushing, I'm burning energy and I'm relying purely on strength. Against someone weaker than me, this is okay, I guess, but if I want to move this the most efficient way, doing it in this variation will never work against someone of equal strength, similar strength, or even stronger. And we want our moves to work on anyone, no matter the size, okay? So, what I do, I take my elbow, I place it underneath the wrist, okay? And before I get into the next part, the shoulder, okay? When we do weights at the gym, we're strong this way, we're strong this way, and we're strong this way. But we never do weights out at 45 degrees. That's where our shoulder is weak. So when I connect my elbow and hook underneath Mitch's wrist, even if he's in nice and tight there, I'm gonna take his arm at 45 degrees, okay? I'm not using strength. Instead of being up here and still trying to stay tall and push, I'm going to use my body weight. I'm going to put my body weight behind it, and I'm going to move my body weight all in the same direction, connected through his arm here, okay? So I'm already lower, I'm already shifted, and then my whole body goes straight away, okay? So as you can see here, I can push as hard as I want. I can't get it. I take my arm underneath the wrist, and I go this way with my body weight, and it drops straight to the floor, okay? From here, I slide my elbow into the back of Mitch's head, take a thumbless grip onto his wrist, okay? The beautiful part about this is, for Mitch to do his most efficient bridge and roll, his ear must be close to his shoulder, like this, and looking over, okay? So, by me doing this, Mitch can no longer do his most efficient bridge and roll, okay? So now we'll look at troubleshooting some adjustments to make this very tight, and how to actually get our second arm in and committed to the grip. So most commonly we're taught that we just come straight underneath, paint the floor, and eventually we'll get the tap. The reality is, most times we can't get under here, okay? So if we just rotate, with this, it's physically impossible for Mitch to be able to stop me from coming here without his wrist coming off the floor, okay? So when he's relaxed, his wrist is on the floor and I can start to come underneath, okay? However, as soon as Mitch knows what I'm trying to do, watch his wrist, okay? For him to bed this in tight, his wrist must come off the floor. So instead of trying to go where it's strong, I come in where it's weak, I prop up, making it higher, come in at the wrist, prop up, and then as I drop back down, I cut underneath like a knife, so now I can turn my hand over and secure the grip. Okay, so pay attention to the wrist here. As I'm trying to come up, as he beds down, his wrist comes up. So I come in, prop up, and then I cut through and grab the wrist, okay? Now for some adjustments. So the first one I'm gonna do, when I have the wrist, and my wrists are like this, I'm gonna throttle, okay? Take all the slack out. So at the moment my wrists are down, and what I'm trying to do is at the moment his hands, the palm of his hand's facing me. So when I throttle, okay, I make his palm almost face away, up to the roof, okay? So I throttle my hands like a motorbike, and that pulls it in to make the first adjustment, okay? Second, if my arm is or my elbow's on the outside of the elbow, I'm not isolating the shoulder, okay? So my second adjustment is this arm here, the closer I can get it to Mitch's shoulder, the tighter it is, okay? I bring this in as close as I can. Now when I throttle my arms to make his palm face the other way, I can start to apply the Americana. But we're not done yet. There is still more adjustments. Whenever we're doing an Americana or a Kimura, we can think of the elbow as north on a compass, okay? Wherever it points is the way we need to take the arm to take all the slack out, okay? So Mitch's elbow is facing down towards his feet, so that's the way we start to pull it down to take all the slack out, okay? If it was a Kimura and his arm's facing this way, the elbow's facing towards his head, so we can guide it up, okay? So once I come in under here, I've got my elbow in as tight as I can. I've pulled in to make his palm face away. I've now taken his elbow to north. From here, I can just start to lift up, and I'm already getting the tap, okay? With my weight, as I've come down, you'll notice that my chest is on top of the shoulder that he has to lift up or take off the floor to do the bridge roll, okay? So even without having any Americana or anything here, as Mitch tries to bridge, I'm heavy on the shoulder that he needs to come up off, okay? So again, from this angle, take my elbow, I'm already low, I'm going to take it in 45 degrees with my body weight behind it. I slide back and catch, okay? I can't get under here, so he's lifting up to buy it. So I come in, prop up, and cut through, okay? Bringing this arm as close to Mitch's shoulder as possible. I throttle my hands, and now I start to pull his elbow towards north, and he's already tapping, okay? So that is the easiest way I've found to get the Americana that works, and try it yourself and let's see how you go.